So we've been mixing in questions with these marginal questions, which again, in our business pre-calculus class, we looked at this by comparing an output value with that output value plus 1. Like, how did that output change? But we can get a more accurate calculation using derivatives. So if we want the marginal cost, we're taking the derivative of the cost function. If we want marginal revenue, we're taking the derivative of the revenue function. A marginal profit is the derivative of the profit function. And also, as review, our profit function comes from finding our revenue and then subtracting out our cost. So the difference of revenue and cost will give us our profit. So we have a revenue function of 0.5x squared. We have a cost function of 4x plus 10. So if we want to find our profit function, we're going to take that revenue function of 0.5x squared and subtract our cost function. And be sure to use parentheses here because we want that negative to distribute in. So distributing the negative, so we'll have a minus 4x minus 10. And no like terms to combine there, so that would just be done. All right, first thing we're going to do, find the marginal cost at 32 units. So what we're going to do is find the derivative of the cost function. So our cost function is that 4x plus 10. So if we take the derivative, we're just going to have 4 left over. So actually, it doesn't even matter that we're plugging in 32. No matter where we are, no matter how many units are being produced and sold, the marginal cost is 4. So let's talk about what that means in terms of interpreting. So with cost, what can be helpful is thinking of output and input, because that's going to help us make a sentence. So our output units for this is a dollar amount in terms of cost. Input, what we're plugging in is the number of units. So what we could do is make a sentence of, we'll keep it when 32 units are produced and sold. Cost, because it's positive, it's increasing. Increases by, and then we take the units of our output over units in input. So we're doing dollars per unit. So it increases by $4 per unit. So that's how cost is changing. When we make 32 units, cost is going to increase by $4 per unit as we increase. All right, let's talk about marginal revenue for that same 32 units. So we're going to want to take the derivative of our revenue function, which was 0.5x squared. So taking the derivative, we'll have 0.5 times 2, which is just 1, and then x raised to a 2 minus 1 power. So our revenue function, the derivative of our revenue function is just x. So if we're taking the derivative at 32, our output, we would just plug in 32 for x. So is 32. So this would be when 32 units are produced and sold, revenue, and it's positive, so revenue increases by $32 per unit. All right, so that's how revenue is increasing there. And then profit, so we have our profit function up above there, so taking the derivative. So derivative of 0.5x squared, we actually just found it's just x. Derivative of negative 4x is just a negative 4. Derivative of negative 10 turns into a 0. So our profit derivative is x minus 4, and we want to evaluate this when we're looking at 32. So we'll take 32 minus 4, which is going to be a 28. So when 32 units are produced and sold, profit increases by $28 per unit. So that's how we can look at marginal cost, revenue, and profit using our derivative functions and evaluating at a point.